Welcome back to Math Dogs. If you're new to the channel, please comment, like, and subscribe. If you have any questions, please comment down below. Today's topic is factoring the sum and difference of cubes. We have 4 examples and a memory trick for you. Remember, we believe math is better with your dog, so call your pups. Let's get started. Problem number 1 says x cubed plus 27. So let's take a look at this example to further investigate our memory trick. So first of all, when we factor a sum or difference of cubes, they will always break into a binomial, which has 2 terms, and a trinomial, which has 3 terms. And it's pretty easy to remember what to do with the binomial. You take the cube root of each of the terms in the original problem, so the cube root of x cubed is x, and the cube root of 27 is 3. And you keep the sign. So since the sign is positive in the problem, we'll keep the plus sign for the binomial. Now, how did I know that the cube root of 27 is 3? Well, it will benefit you to have at least the first 7 or so cube numbers memorized. So 1 cubed is 1. 2 cubed, 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. 3 cubed, 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. 4 cubed, which is 4 times 4 times 4, is 64. 5 cubed is 125. 6 cubed is 216. And 7 cubed is 343. We have a video on the Math Dogs channel that can help you memorize your cubed numbers if you need. Just search it and look it up. Now for the trinomial. That gives some people some trouble. What do I have to do? And so the memory trick that I use is the word STOPMS, S-T-O-M-P-S. And each of those letters stands for a specific word that will help us know what to do in the problem. So the S stands for square. So I'm going to square the x from the binomial, and that will give me x squared. The T and the O stands for the opposite, which refers to the sign. And so since there's a plus in the binomial, I'm going to use a minus sign. The M stands for multiply. I'm going to multiply together the x and the 3 and get 3x. The P stands for positive. We always use a positive sign in this position in the trinomial. And again, you guessed it, the S stands for square. I'm going to square the second part of the binomial, which is 3, and I'm going to get 9. And that will give me the answer, x plus 3 times x squared minus 3x plus 9. Problem number 2 says x cubed minus 64. So we know from the first problem that this will break into a binomial of 2 terms and a trinomial of 3 terms. And I know in the binomial I'm just going to take the cube roots and keep the sign. So the cube root of x cubed is x. I'm going to keep the subtraction sign. And the cube root of 64 is 4. As I said in the first problem, I have my cube roots memorized. It will really benefit you if you memorize, let's say, the first 5 or 7. And again, there's a Math Dogs video to help you. Now for the trinomial, which always seems to be the one nobody can remember. But I'm going to use my memory trick, S-T-O-M-P-S, STOPMS. So S stands for square. I'm going to square x, the first term, and get x squared. T-O stands for the opposite, so the opposite of minus is plus. The M stands for multiply, so I'm going to multiply x by 4 and get 4x. P stands for positive. That sign symbol right there is always positive. And again, S stands for square, so I'm going to square the 4 and get 16. And so my answer is x minus 4 times x squared plus 4x plus 16. Problem number 3 says 8x cubed plus 125. So here I have a sum of cubes. I know 8 and 125 are both cube numbers. So that's going to break into a binomial and a trinomial. So for the binomial, I'm going to take the cube root of 8x cubed. Well, the cube root of 8 is 2, and the cube root of x cubed is x. I'm going to keep the same sign, and the cube root of 125 is 5. And now for my memory trick to help me with my trinomial. It's the word STOPMS, S-T-O-M-P-S. Remember, the S stands for square, so 2x times 2x is 4x squared. TO stands for the opposite, so I'm going to take the opposite of plus, which is minus. M stands for multiply, so 2x times 5 is 10x. P stands for positive, that symbol's always a plus sign. And again, the S stands for square. The square 5 times 5 is 25. And so my answer would be 2x plus 5 times 4x squared minus 10x plus 25. Problem number 4 says 64x cubed minus 343. So I have 2 cubes, 64x cubed and 343, and a subtraction sign in between. I know that's going to break into a binomial and a trinomial since that's the factoring pattern. The binomial again is pretty straightforward. Take the cube root of 64, which is 4. The cube root of x cubed is just x. Keep the same sign as the problem, which is a minus, and the cube root of 343 is 7. And now for the trinomial, I'm going to use my memory trick, STOPMS, S-T-O-M-P-S. So the S stands for square, so 4x times 4x is 16x squared. TO stands for the opposite, so the opposite of minus is plus. M stands for multiply, 4x times 7 is 28x. P stands for positive, this is always a plus sign. And the last S again stands for square, 7 times 7 is 49. And so my answer would be 4x minus 7 times 16x squared plus 28x plus 49. So that's it. 4 examples of factoring sum and difference of cubes, along with the STOPMS memory trick. Square, the opposite, multiply, positive, and square again. Keep working hard. Don't ever give up. If you need help memorizing those cube numbers, check out the Math Dog video on cube numbers to help you out. If you have any questions, please ask us. We're always willing to help. And as we say at Math Dogs, you got this.